I was already on my feet when the room fell silent. Forks stopped halfway to mouths, smiles froze. The candles on the cake kept burning, calm and smug, like they knew something I didn't. Dad had just said it, "You're not part of us," the words landed clean and sharp like a precise cut. No blood, just an empty space where warmth used to live. I glanced at my hands, checking for a tremor. Nothing. That surprised me, I asked, casually, almost politely. "So what time is the departure?" I knew the answer already. I just needed him to say it out loud. He did. Suddenly the room felt smaller, like the walls had leaned in. Everyone became deeply focused on their plates. My mother didn't step in, she smiled. As if this was kindness. They didn't want me as family. They wanted a babysitter. They wanted me thankful for the role. The candles flickered, I breathed in sugar, smoke, and something stale and rotten underneath it all. And while they waited for me to swallow it like I always had, something finally clicked. I'd never been chosen, I'd only been useful. This didn't start tonight. It never does. My mind jumped back years to when family meant late-night calls and empty promises. They leaned on me in emergencies, praised how dependable I was, called me their rock. I confused being needed with being loved. I confused access with belonging. I took the kids whenever they wanted weekends off. I hosted holidays when money was tight. I paid deposits, covered gaps, fixed problems. I was always included right up until inclusion cost them something. Hawaii cost them something. The signs were always there, group chats without me, plans changing at the last second. A silence that slowly grew teeth. Decisions announced instead of discussed, my role shrinking into errands and labor. Then came proof, an email forwarded by mistake. A booking list with every name on it except mine. I didn't confront them. I never react in the moment, I plan. So when Dad said I could stay behind and watch all the kids, I nodded. I smiled, I felt the room relax, relieved I was still easy to use. That was my opening. Over the next 3 days, I did nothing dramatic. I made lists, I made calls, I checked calendars. I read the fine print on everything they assumed I never would. I learned who legally had authority over which children. I traced who had paid for what. I saw just how thin their margins really were. Then I moved the pieces. I canceled the babysitting I'd never agreed to politely. In writing, I forwarded the messages where they'd assumed my consent. I attached the clauses that proved I wasn't obligated. I CC'd the people who mattered. I pulled back the money I'd fronted months earlier for accommodations non-refundable for them, instantly refundable for me. I called school administrators. To clarify guardianship, I told the sitters they were counting on that plans had changed. I never raised my voice. I never accused anyone. I just corrected the record. Every move was clean. Every move could have been undone if they'd apologized. They didn't. The night before their flight, my phone lit up nonstop. Panic pretending to be anger. "How could you do this to family? What are we supposed to do now?" I listened. I let them talk. I pictured the bags by the door, the lays already imagined, the fantasy cracking apart. Then I said the line I'd been rehearsing since the candles burned low. "I'm not part of you," I said. "So I'm not responsible for you." Silence followed, real silence. The kind that finally tells the truth. They tried to bargain. They tried to rewrite the past. They called me selfish. I didn't argue. I didn't need to. The morning of the flight, I went back to the dining room alone. I blew out the candles that had never been meant for me. I left the keys on the table. I took my name back. They didn't go to Hawaii. Not that week. Not together. Someone had to stay behind and take care of the kids. This time, it wasn't me. I don't feel guilty. I feel exact. I feel lighter without carrying expectations that were never love. Revenge doesn't always look like flames. Sometimes it looks like boundaries. Enforced at the moment they matter most. They finally learned who replaced me.